everybody. So through this poem we will discuss our next poem, that is A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. Actually, the poet through this poem is just contrasting the life of a tiger inside the zoo with the kind of life he should have lived in the jungle. Uh, the poet actually is trying to portray the feelings of a tiger only, how the tiger must have felt inside the zoo, how he would have, how he must have just desiring for the freedom, how he must be thinking or dreaming of the freedom that he should have enjoyed if he would have been free. So that is just a kind of going into deep into the thinking about the tigers, and apart from that also the poet is just raising few questions only, that is it really necessary to keep these wild animals inside the zoo? Isn't there any other way to protect them? Is it really necessary to keep them inside the cell, inside the cage for the people, so that people could study, people could watch them? Are they something like that of a thing only? So such type of questions are raised by poet indirectly only. So first of all, I'll recite the poem to you. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. He should be snarling round houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So Leslie Norris just telling us that he who, the tiger only, in the very first line, the first word, he stalks in his vivid stripes. He, the tiger, stalks walking, walking, moving here and there in his vivid stripe. Vivid, bright. Stripes are the thick, narrow lines or bands on the body of tiger. And how is walking? Few steps of his cage, in a very small cage where there is no much space to walk. He is stalking, moving from here to there to here. He is just walking the little space inside the cage on pads of velvet quiet, and his soft velvety, we know velvety piece of cloth only, velvet piece of cloth is soft, so his feet are also velvety, they are also very soft, and he is walking softly without making any noise in his quiet rage. Although he is walking very with pride, but inside there is rage, there is anger inside. He is angry, but he can't do anything inside the cage. And now this is the first stanza telling about the condition of the tiger in the zoo. Now what actually Leslie Norris says, where he should be at presently, where he should be lurking in shadow instead of inside the cage only. Leslie Norris is saying that the tiger should be lurking in shadow, he should be lurking, he should be hiding in shadow, sliding through long grass, and that he should slide. If you have watched on any animal planet, animal discovery kind of channel only, how these wild animals like tiger, they used to go for hunting, they used to have a proper way of hunting also, so they used to move quietly. And in the same way, the Leslie Norris, the poet, is saying only that instead of inside the cage only, the tiger should be at hiding in a shadow and lurking, sliding through long grass near some water holes near some water body, like a pond or river or any water source, where these animals, wild animals, used to come to quench their thirst, satisfy their thirst, to drink water. And where plump deer pass, where the plump deer, fat deers also used to come, he should be hiding there. Instead of stalking the, walking the few steps of the cage, the tiger should be hiding, sliding near the water source, waiting for a deer so that he could hunt that. He should be snarling around houses. And the poet is saying that instead of being inside the cage only, what the tiger should have been done, he should be snarling, making angry sound, roaring sounds, where? Around houses at the jungle's edge, the villages which used to be at the jungle's edge only. He should be making roaring sounds at the jungle's edge only, barring, showing his white fangs, long teeth, showing his white teeth, white fangs, his claws, and terrorizing the villagers, terrorizing the villagers with his roaring sound. But unfortunately, the poet is saying, unfortunately, the tiger is locked in a concrete cell, cemented with bars. He is locked there. All his strength behind bars. He's so very much powerful. Tigers used to be very much powerful. But all his strength is inside the bars only, and then humans are happy. They are watching the tiger. They are saying that humans are saying that they are powerful, more powerful than them, the tigers even. His strength is actually behind the bars, stalking the length of his cage, and the tiger is walking the length of the cage, a few steps of the cage, a very little space inside the cage, ignoring visitors, and is just ignoring the visitors because he knew he couldn't do anything. He knew that he is inside the bars, he is inside the cage. If he would have been freed, then he would have shown his strength. But he also knew that there is no use of wasting the energy. But inside, he is so much angry. And that's why he is ignoring those visitors there. And he is just thinking only. For the whole day he is thinking, and at night only, also that time also, he is not sleeping, he is not resting. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, these vehicles inside the zoos only, which used to go on patrolling, which used to go on seeing, watching if everything is fine. So all these with guards and all that, he used to hear the last sound of the patrolling cars. And then he used to watch and he used to stare brilliant stars in the sky with his brilliant eyes. Poet Leslie Norris is telling us that there are dreams in his brilliant eyes, and through his brilliant eyes he is watching the stars, and he is imagining only, the tiger is imagining only, that if only he would have been free, if only he would have been in the jungle only, in his natural habitat, in his home only, instead of being locked inside that cage, then he must have enjoyed his life fully. He is thinking only, he is dreaming only. So Leslie Norris, not thinking like a human but thinking like an animal only, that animals also love freedom, or everybody loves freedom, and he wants to give us a message only that we should not take anybody's freedom, whether human or animal or bird. So if we talk about, these are the few questions taken up by the poet. Further, the poet says Leslie Norris has repeated few of the words. See the first stanza and third, fourth line. On pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rays. Quiet, velvet quiet and quiet rays. So this actually increases the intensity of Tiger's rage, Tiger's anger, and his helpless silence, that he couldn't do anything. In the similar way, in the last stanza also, uh, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Here also the word brilliant is repeated. This also creates an image that if tiger is looking toward the sky only and he is just expecting an answer from the god only, that why this is happening to him only. So beautifully done by Leslie Norris. uh, so this is all about the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. Thank you.